Where three guys light up a fine cigar and getting everything from sports and current events to hobbies, life's little moments, and everything in between. Whether you're here for the cigars, the conversation, or just some good laughs, we've got you covered. So grab your favorite smoke, settle in, and join us for laid-back chats with the Chicago twist. Now it's time to put some smoke in the air. Good evening, Marty.
Good evening, Mike. Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I got to see you face to face on Saturday at our HERF. So
Absolutely.
that's always good.
Yeah, it was a good time.
We had a small turnout. People are traveling and doing other things, but
Yeah.
I think when the weather warms up, we'll get larger turnouts.
Absolutely. It's always tough in the wintertime. People got things going on and the weather scares some people. So, and speaking of scary weather, we got some possible snowstorms coming in tonight and tomorrow. So we'll see how that plays out here in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, we haven't had any big snow this year, so we'll see if we get the 7 inches they're saying we might get.
I'm ready. I'm ready for a big snowstorm. Fire up the old snowblower and get out there. I'm ready.
I got to use my snowblower at least once.
Yeah. Last year I didn't use it at all. So
yeah.
I'm sort of worried. I didn't start it up. I didn't even add any fuel to it because I'm afraid if I add fuel to it, I'm not going to need it. So I haven't started that thing in a year. So we'll have to see how that goes.
I hope it fires up for you.
It's got the electric start. So we'll see.
That
We'll see what
helps.
goes. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
You won't pull a muscle anyway.
No, exactly. So what'd you think of Sunday? Big Super Bowl. What'd you think?
You know, when my team's not in it, all I want is a close game with some wild play that everyone can talk about. And this wasn't any of that.
This was, like I said before, I'm a Kansas City fan. I mean, I'm not a diehard. You know, the Bears will always be true to my heart, but I wanted to see Kansas City win. And it looked like Patrick Mahomes was a rookie and had no idea what was going on. I mean, his offensive line looked lost. Yeah, and even the commercials were terrible. And the halftime show. Let's not even get into that. But yeah.
I didn't watch the halftime show. I went and had a cigar and kept the halftime show off.
You didn't miss anything. You did not miss anything. I don't even know what he was singing. I mean, that's not my genre, but I saw some memes out there that, you know, you just couldn't even understand them, which I couldn't. You know, I had it on, but I wasn't paying attention because I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
So all in all, pretty lame.
Yes, it was.
Unless you're an Eagles fan, and then I can kind of remember when the Bears won in a blowout like that. You didn't really care.
Yeah.
You were just happy.
I don't care. My team won. Leave me alone. Let us celebrate now. So yeah.
Did they like burn the city down like everyone was saying?
I didn't see that, but I did hear that there was an accident again. Somebody ran into some people, like 10 people were injured or something like that. So I don't know if it happened in Bourbon Street or if it happened down in Philadelphia, but yeah, I didn't really look into it. I just saw a passing story of it happening.
I saw a picture that they were supposedly greasing the lampposts to keep people from climbing up the lampposts.
Yes. They're prepping that for when PCA hits New Orleans in a couple months to make sure that the ruffians don't start shimmying up the poles.
So we don't get any acrobats off the top of the lamp pole.
Yep. Before we go any further, and I'll ask you this in a second, my next question, but what are you smoking tonight?
I'm smoking the Crown Heads La Carême Robusto. It's a Connecticut broadleaf with a Sumatra binder. So it's got kind of that Connecticut broadleaf, but a little sweet tinge to it. I like it. It's one of my favorite Crown Heads.
That is a good one, yeah.
What about you?
I am smoking something that I picked up on Saturday that I think you said you did not like, but I am smoking the El Titan de Bronze Redemption in the Toro size. So it's got the Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, the Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan filler. It's good so far. I know you had some issues with it. I
I
just lit
didn't
up, so we'll see how it goes.
I didn't unlike it, but I had heard people say so many good things about it. I was expecting something more, and it was just kind of average for me.
That's always the worst part, whether it's the list or whether it's anything. And I'll share a quick story about that. But yeah, you sort of go, oh, okay, this is gonna be a great cigar. Then you smoke and you're like, and it just didn't hit your palate. Back again to my philosophy, find somebody's palate that lines up with yours. Find a list or find 4 or 5 cigars that you really enjoy and see if they end up on somebody else's list, and then start identifying with that list, going, okay, if I like this and they like it, I sort of got a similar palate. But I was looking today at the Dog Rockets from Room 101, and I was just curious. I thought I'll pick up a couple of these. And then I started realizing this thing came out in 2024, probably 2024, like March or April, I think. And I'm thinking, man, this thing didn't make anybody's list. So it can't
Right.
be that good of a cigar. So I was like going, all right, forget it. And I moved on. And I'm
And
like,
with a
oh
name
shoot.
like Dog Rocket, you're thinking, well, maybe there's a reason why they called it that.
Yes, yes. So I was like, so I quickly changed my mind. I'm like, uh-oh, am I falling into the list trap of, hey, this didn't make the list, I'm not going to waste my money on it. So
That's why it's
before, go ahead.
interesting to just sometimes get an unbanded cigar that you don't know anything about and just smoke it.
Yeah, and it's a good point. It was sort of the premise of our podcast when we started it a couple years ago. But I heard, for once, I finally heard somebody be honest about smoking cigars and unbanded cigars, because a brand had contacted this person and said, hey, would you review some of our cigars? And he said, yeah, absolutely. Send them to me. I'll review them for you. I said, okay, fine. They said, hey, we got a better idea. How about if we send you in one packet, we'll send you 3 cigars, one of them being ours and 2 being, different brand, and just tell us what you think and how and this person came back out and said, you know what? I appreciate it, but I'm not that good at picking out, flavor notes and tobacco. He said, maybe, maybe I could pick out a couple of things here or there, but I'm not good enough to be able to go, oh yeah, this has got, Corojo 99 in it, and it's got Nicaraguan binders, and and they're like, hey, at least we appreciate it. And I, for once, I'm like, thank you. Somebody's finally admitting that they don't understand. They'll review it and they'll know, okay, hey, this is an El Titan de Bronze, and I know what this is, and I know what's in it. So let me see if I pick up those notes,
Hmm.
which is, I appreciate that, versus somebody smoking and going, yeah, this is at a graham cracker taste, like it just with a piece of cheese on top of it, and I'm like, where are you coming up with this at?
I've never had that graham crackers with cheese.
There is a person who will remain nameless, and I laugh, but every time he will talk about his cigar, he pulls out some weird reference. And I'm like, hey, if that's what you're getting from it, that's great. But at the same point, how are you getting this stuff out of this cigar? Because when I smoke it, I sure as heck don't get this, wild taste and flavor notes that you're getting.
Got a thesaurus of cigar adjectives that he mixes up and sees what he gets at the end.
Exactly. Exactly. What did you think about the big news out of the Bears this week, or last week, I guess?
So
Virginia. Virginia
Virginia
McCaskey passed away. Yeah.
McCaskey passed away. She was like 99, right?
I thought she was 102.
She made it over 100.
I
Okay.
thought she was 102. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long, long life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll say I don't think she's done much for the Bears. I'm sorry she's not here anymore, but I hope it helps.
It'll be interesting. That's for sure. It's one of those things of, she didn't do much for the Bears. So how much control did she still have? And now that she's gone, who's picking up those reins and running with them?
right.
So
There
it'll be
were
interesting.
like Chicago seems to have a lot of bad owners. I don't know if every city
Mhm.
is like this, but we've had our fair share of not good owners,
Yes.
and so I don't think they'll probably sell them, but maybe the kids will figure it out. Maybe she was applying some pressure that we don't know that was making things worse.
Yeah, I mean, for her age, and I'm not knocking this, but she was at every game, every home game she could be at. I don't know if she was at away games, but I mean, they would always show her up in the skybox or the booth or whatever you'd call it, and so she was there, so she had interest. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting off season. Obviously, Super Bowl's over, so we'll see what happens going forward, and we'll see how the Bears navigate through this waters. So, and then Dick
And then
Duran passed away. Dick
yeah, I was
Duran,
going to say that
yeah,
he couldn't have been that old because it wasn't that long ago. Like he was the first coach after Lovey, right?
yeah. It was. I think they said he was 79. I recall. So yeah, he
Or
wasn't
was
that
he the
old at
coach
all.
before Lovey? Was he before Lovey or
Oh
because
man,
after Lovey they brought in that one guy who lasted like 2 years and was good, kind of good the first year, and then the second year the team was just like they had it with him. Yeah, I
see if I
think he
can.
was before Lovey.
Let's see if I can figure this out. Hold on. Hold your horses. Dick Duran and then Lovey. So
Yeah,
Dick Duran was 99 to 2003. Lovey was 2004 to 2012.
yeah, he's
And
the last
Tressman.
good coach we had.
Yeah. Yeah. So little bit of mourning on the Chicago Bears world. So,
But we're just
but now
looking
we'll
to the
see.
future. We've got our eyes set on the future, and we're looking forward to see what the new coaching staff can do.
Yeah, and then this week pitchers and catchers report to baseball camp. So we're Super Bowl's over and we're on to baseball.
That's hard to
So
believe.
yeah, it is. And really we're at the middle of February. So you'll start having games probably what? The end of March? You'll probably have a month worth of practice before, and then you'll start getting into some games. Or
Yeah,
maybe even sooner.
maybe
Because
sooner.
what's MLB's opening day? Let's see here.
Middle of April, pretty cold. That's
Uh
it's all around here anyway.
Yeah, what the heck? Season in May? No, that can't be right.
I'm sure they play before May.
I'm just wondering for opening day. Yeah, let's just see here.
I think it's like mid to late April.
Yeah, it could be. It's always weird. I'm always amazed at when the teams start playing ball, and I'm like, holy cow! Really? We're playing this. We're playing this soon?
Have you ever gone to go see spring training?
No, I have not.
I've always wanted to do that.
Well, the first spring training game is March
March
18th.
18th, yeah. That's the first real game.
No, March 18th is the first.
No, they don't
That is
start
the
that early, do they?
They do.
Yeah.
LA and Chicago. LA and Chicago. Tuesday, March 18th.
Season opening matchups are March 27th. Like so they're
Well,
playing all of April. Shows you what I know about baseball.
yeah. So let's see. Yeah. Yeah, because spring training looks like it ends March 20.
That's a
I
long
know.
season to go from March to October.
So March
Uh,
27th looks like it's opening day.
yeah,
Wow.
that's like a month before I thought because I guess I don't pay attention for the first month.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always too cold to start thinking of baseball at that point. When you see guys
Right.
with literally hats and gloves on, and I'm not talking about baseball hats and baseball gloves, but I'm like,
Yeah.
So
And then those guys are just traveling for 6 months of the year
yeah, and they're looking forward to those trips to Florida and Arizona and Texas and California.
in the early part of the year.
Exactly. Exactly.
The Cubs are playing March 18th versus the Dodgers in Tokyo. So that
Yeah.
March 18th was the first
Yeah.
game, but it's like 8 days before the rest of the league opens.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
So we're a month away. I mean, well, today's February, so yeah, so a month and a week, and baseball will be underway. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But so do you want to kick off the show? This is an idea you came up with that I absolutely love. So
Yeah, this my
we're calling the show the Under the Big Top. So
Into
why
the
don't
Big
you
Top. All right, good
yeah.
name. So yeah, this crazy idea. Just trying to think of ways we can talk about the cigar industry and make it a little bit interesting. Kind of a thought experiment would be, say you inherited a circus and all the people left and you wanted to hire only people from the cigar industry. Who would you hire to be the ringleader, the lion tamer, clown, acrobat? You can have multiple clowns because
Yes.
there's always like a car full of
Yeah.
clowns. And there's plenty of clowns in
Yes.
the cigar industry. Acrobat, fire eater, juggler, magician, elephant tamer, contortionist. I don't know. You got any more jobs?
I
You,
threw human cannonball in there. I threw that.
human. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So we did it.
If we have time at the end,
There we
people
go.
might get mad
There we
at us though. If we,
Yes. Remember, everybody, this is just our opinions. Don't take this personally.
yes, we're just, it's just for fun,
Yes.
just for fun.
Just for fun.
So
So go ahead.
you want to start with ringleader and
Gonna
be
lead the
the
Who's gonna
ringleader of
lead the
your cigar
circus?
circus.
Yeah. So the ringleader of my circus is Steve Saka. And let me
Mm,
tell you why. Let me tell
all
you
right.
why. When I started thinking about this, I'm like, who's the guy that everybody looks up to and that basically can just put stuff together? And I'm thinking about Steve. I'm thinking, he was over there at Drew Estates, working like a dog, putting stuff together. He comes up with the legal line and is fantastic, and everybody raves about that. And it's probably still one of the most popular lines for Drew Estates. Then he breaks away, leaves, starts his own line, and is putting out great cigars on top of great cigars on top of great cigars. And so I thought the ringleader, in my opinion, has got to be somebody that can stand on his own 2 feet and that people respect. And if you look at the last couple of years, Steve's been consistent with cigars on the top 10 list. So that's how I went with this idea. Is I thought for the ringleader, he's the one that's directing the show. He's, you know, he's got everybody's attention. I
Right.
think it's easy to say when Steve walks into a room, he can get everybody's attention real quick. So
I
that
don't disagree with that.
that's
Did
my
you have
pick
other
for.
people you considered?
It was weird because I did consider Abe DeBabna from Smoke Inn. And again, well respected, definitely can put on a show. I mean, he's proven that with the Great Smoke. I think he gets along with every or most, I won't say every, but most brand owners, most brands. So that was my other consideration.
I
But I
had
just
another job you wanted to slot him for, probably.
I didn't, but there's some possibilities along the way that we could slot him in.
Okay.
So he's not gonna be my geek. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
What
him
about
mad at
you?
I wouldn't want him mad at me.
No.
Yeah, so I considered Sokka as well for those same reasons. Also, Michael Herklotz, because he seems to be like the master of ceremonies of a lot of things. He'd be a
Hmm.
good ringleader in that case. But I think I
Absolutely.
settled on Carlito Fuente just
Wow.
because he kind of dresses like a ringleader. He's always got like a lot of women around him.
Yes. Yes. Very true.
I think, and he's well respected in the cigar industry, so I think he could do a good job as ringleader. So that's
Absolutely.
my ringleader is Fuente.
Nice. Nice. So who did you pick for your lion tamer then?
So lion tamer considered, I think lion tamer needs to be a big person just to keep the lions in line.
Mm.
Although I haven't been to a circus and I don't remember the last time I was at a circus. Maybe lion tamers aren't. Maybe they have to be quick and fast to run away, but I don't think you can outrun a lion. There's one guy. He's probably not even on your list. You know Ronnie Haysha? I think
Yes,
he
yes,
he could tame the lions with his mouth.
yeah, yes. His emails alone contain the lions.
The lions
Yes.
would not be able to talk any crap to him. He would be That's the one thing I remember about lion tamers is they are always talking to the lions.
Hmm?
And I'm like, I don't think the lions can understand you, but they know when you're talking.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
He's not a big guy, but he's got a big mouth. So
Yes.
that's my lion tamer.
That's a good call. I didn't think about that. Very good.
How
Very
about
good.
you?
Sort of along the same lines, I went with somebody that could keep people or keep lions in check. Somebody that had a strong personality. And when I say this, you might go, "Huh?" And I'll explain this. But I took Eric Espinoza, and I'll
Ah,
tell you why. I'll tell you why. For Eric Espinoza to tell Guy Fieri, "No, you're not going to make a cigar with us." Come on, that dude's wrestling a lion. I mean,
yeah,
if anybody
that
anybody
takes
would
some
see,
big cojones.
yeah, anybody would see Guy come up to you and go, "You want to do, yeah, yeah, okay, I'll do it." But nope, you're not ready for this. I don't want a flash pang, and it's over and done with. And so I looked at that, and I also looked at Eric's cigars, Espinosa's cigars have got punch to them. They've got some bite to them. And again, I sort of looked at him going, you know what? He can keep all those cigars in line. He can, I don't even know what their current portfolio is, but it's like he keeps moving them. And I don't see him pulling skews. I just see him putting more out.
Right,
So I looked at it. He's got a whole, it's not a pack of lions. Is it a pack of lions or a den of lions? Whatever it is. Yeah, that was my line tamers, Eric Espinoza.
right. Pride. I think it's Pride of Lions.
Pride of lions. There you go.
Pride of
There you
Lions.
go.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Um, here, one more thing about Ronnie. He's from
Yes.
Detroit, so he's
Oh, yes.
the
So
Lions. Think of
playing that
that.
you're playing that
I'm
angle.
I'm playing that angle.
Excellent.
All
Excellent.
right, next topic. Maybe we should save this to last. Like the clowns. Should we
Yeah,
save
we
the
could.
clowns to
Yeah, we'll
we'll
save the
come
clowns
back.
for the
We'll
last.
come back to
Yep.
the clown.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so next one is an acrobat.
So my acrobat is in. I've watched this guy, and maybe one day he'll listen to our podcast. One day we'll be lucky enough to have him on our podcast. But for an acrobat, I've looked at this as a person who can jump through hoops and just be able to handle some different things. And I'm my acrobat's going to be Juan Cancel. And I think you experienced it. We might have experienced Juan at some of his worst on Smoke Night Live, probably a year ago or so. We
Yeah,
actually kicked him off the show.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was 3 sheets to the wind and just spewing things out. Not bad, but he was off the rails. And he made a change. He flipped. That's my acrobat. He flipped. He did a 180 and stopped drinking. I think he's been sober now for probably close to 9 months to a year, I would think. So that episode might have actually been a year and a half. But he flipped around and turned that around. He's a regular on KMA Talk Radio on Saturday mornings with Abe. He works for Eric, being Guy's bodyguard. So when Guy goes out with Eric, they call Juan, and Juan jumps in and takes care of that. He's a former police officer, New York police officer, which that'll make anybody drink. So, I sort of went more of an award. I sort of feel like this is an award for Juan, but I just have been impressed. I've really, truly been impressed by the guy, and to say, hey, he admitted some faults he had and turned around and said, okay, I'm done. I'm going to get on the wagon here and stop drinking. So that's my acrobat. What about you?
He's walking the tightrope.
He is walking the tight. And I almost changed it from acrobat to tightrope walkers.
I think they're
But
kind of the same, right? The
yes,
same guys, too,
exactly. Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good choice. So for me, acrobat, tightrope walker, I think I'm gonna pick Michael Herklotz because I think you
Oh,
got to be you got to be in good shape to do that job and got to have good balance and You dress it tight, so he might not like that part of it, but maybe he does. I don't know.
Maybe.
So he's my acrobat tightrope walker.
And
I could see,
flashy.
they're
Oh.
flashy. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good choice. I like that. I like that. He's definitely one to mix things up and just he's another one. I mean, he's bounced around in the cigar industry. He's into Ferriotego. But yeah, you'll see him. He's the I guess he could have been a good carnival barker. We could have thrown carnival barker in there
Yeah.
because he's an auctioneer and pulls money out of people's pockets, and I don't think they even realize it. I don't think they even realize. Wait a minute here, how much did I just bid on that? So yeah, that's a
They
good
might have
choice.
an announcer at circuses now. I guess the ringleader might not necessarily be the announcer.
True,
He'd be a
true.
good announcer. Yeah.
What about your fire eater? Who's eating fire for you?
So fire eater, that's where I had Juan Cancel.
Well,
Juan Cancel is my fire eater. I could see him sticking a flaming torch in his mouth and putting
gonna
it
set
right
all that
out.
hair on fire.
He's got to
That
watch
beard.
out for his beard. Yeah, he'd have to wet the beard down, make sure he didn't start that on fire.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
He breathes fire though, so that's why.
He used to breathe some heavy fire. He probably was flammable at one
Some
point.
more, some more potent fire. Yeah, you can always count
Uh,
on him for some nice rants.
mhm. Yes. And he loves everybody. He loves everybody.
He does.
I love him. I love that guy.
All right,
All right.
so how about you?
Um, mine's a little bit different. You probably would never guess this, but again, I have good logic behind this. I'm very logical when I was thinking this out. But my fire eater is going to be Dan Thompson from McAuliffe Cigars. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Dan did something that everybody told him you were nuts to do. And that Al McAuliffe and his daughter agreed. Kudos to them. But for Dan to walk in to McAuliffe Cigars and say, we're pulling you from all the big box cigar companies. We're taking you from the catalogs and we're only going to be brick and mortar. Talk about dangerous. Talk about an experiment that could have backfired in his face, because wait a minute here, we're losing exposure in those on those websites. We're losing exposure in those catalogs. And McAuliffe at the time was not a big cigar company. They weren't a popular cigar company. They had some loyal followers. Obviously, the McAuliffe ambassadors were long established before Dan came in. But at the same point, ambassadors are great. We know that. But if you're not bringing more people into your brand, how much can your ambassadors carry on? So I looked at that as going, man, you are a fire eater. You are the person is taking the risk that nobody wants to take. You haven't seen that with any other brand. I don't think I know of any other brand that is strictly sold in brick and mortars.
Right.
So,
They seem
you
to be
know,
making it work.
it they're making it work because to Dan's credit and to Al McAuliffe's credit, they are producing some fantastic cigars. Last week I smoked a McAuliffe Black. I gave you a McAuliffe Red this past Saturday. Those color line for them has been phenomenal. Their core line is great. Teddy has talked about how he's a fanboy of McAuliffe now. So yeah, they're doing fantastic. And that jump, when I heard it, I thought, oh boy, this is going to be interesting, but it's worked out for him. So yeah, that's my fire eater.
All right. Good choice. How about next in line? We got juggler.
Juggler, you're going to like. This person that I picked as a juggler is juggling way too many SKUs, way too many cigars, has got the plate spinning, has got the balls in the air, probably got a few chainsaws as right next to him as well that he's juggling, and he's keeping them going. Nothing is hitting the ground. It's probably the one of the biggest selections of cigars you're going to get. Jonathan Drew and Drew Estates. That is my juggler. I mean, when I thought about this, I thought, I was trying to figure out where he could fit in. And there's a couple different spots Jonathan could have fit in. But that guy is doing so much. And I'm thinking, how are you keeping this all straight? How are you keeping all these balls in the air? You know,
Yeah,
and it's you've got the acids, you've got the ligas, you've got the Herreras. It's like going, holy cow. The Deadwood ladies now are under that. So it's like, and I mean he's got a great team ahead of him, but he's still he's still there juggling. He's even juggling his associates. You know, Willie and all those guys in there. It's like going, holy cow. So yeah, that's my juggler is Jonathan Drew.
good choice.
What about you?
So for juggler, I picked Eric Bay because I
Well,
think I think he actually knows how to juggle.
I think he
I
does.
think I've seen him like he's got some. I think he used to be in some performing thing where he had like a stick he threw around in the air. I've seen him do it on video.
Really?
I did, yeah.
Huh.
So we need to have him on and ask him if he knows how to juggle. But that's it.
Yes.
That's who I'm going to pick as juggler,
Good
just because
choice.
I think he can juggle.
So you're going just plain out, hey, he's got the talent to be the juggler. He's got the talent to be the juggler.
I have many criteria, but if I've seen someone do something before, then that's a good sign. I don't want to pick someone who has to learn how to juggle.
No,
Actually,
no,
you need to know how to juggle.
that's right. That's right. You better be ready to juggle, and you better be darn good at it, because you're not dropping anything if I'm picking you as a juggler. So awesome. Moving right along. Who's your magician?
Magician, magician, I went by looks. Magicians, they're usually good looking, and because they don't want you looking at their hands. They want to be able to pull sleight of hand. So you got to
Yes.
get someone who's good looking and and can talk a good game too, because they're
Mm-hmm.
always talking because they're trying to distract you.
Absolutely.
What's going on? So I picked Terrence Riley as my magician.
Nice. Nice. There you go. He's tall. He's tall, and everybody's gonna be looking up here and not watching down his heads. Oh,
Tall, yeah.
very nice. Very nice.
How about you?
I went with the guy who I think does the best sleight of hand out there. And I'll tell you why, and you'll agree. Because based on his bands alone, you don't know what you're smoking.
There you go. I know where you're going.
On the bands alone, you don't know what you're smoking. You could think you're smoking one thing, and somebody go, "No, no, you're not smoking that. You're smoking this." You're like, "I didn't realize it." So yeah,
I
I took
I
Pete
couldn't I
Johnson.
couldn't think of a job for him, but that's it. You're right.
I mean, we all love Pete. I think one of our friends got to meet him, and point blank said to him, "Pete, you got to change the bands. You got to tell us what the heck we're smoking." And again, the magician in him, there's nothing to see here. Just keep smoking and don't worry about
Just
it.
smoke it. Don't worry
That's right.
about it.
That's
If I
right.
made it, it's good.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the other thing, is that he magically, I've been smoking Tatuajes for 3.5, 4 years now. I haven't found a bad one. You've probably been smoking them longer than me. We can call up a couple of our friends who have been smoking them a heck of a lot longer than you or I, and they'll have them ranked, but I don't think they're going to say, "Oh, that's a dog. Don't smoke that." I mean, again,
I don't think I've ever had a bad one.
yeah. So
Even that entire Monster series, they're all decent cigars.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hey, before we jump on, I want to just mention two things. Number one, our sponsor, Ultimate Cigar Lounge, over in Villa Park. If you guys are in the area, swing by, stop in, see Sam or see Teddy, who works there. Say hello, mention the Chi-town Cigar podcast, and see if Teddy will hook you up with some sort of a deal or something like that. But this coming Thursday, February the 3rd, at 6 p.m., there's going to be a book signing. So all of you Chicago fans out there, the book is called The Future, the Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks new area. And it's written by a regular for the podcast, or for the Cigar Lounge, Tab Bamford. And Tab's a great guy. I had a chance to meet Tab quite a few times. When I was working there, he was the guy that was always there in the morning with me. Very knowledgeable. He's the beat writer for the Chicago Blackhawks. So I didn't know he was writing this book, but he's doing a book signing, and it's also going to be an Oliva cigar event. So if you go in there and buy the book, there you're going to get some discount and be able to get some cigars at a discounted price, or you can buy some cigars at a discounted price and maybe get his book at a discounted price. But it's going to be a great deal. It's supposed to be a great book. It's I think it just came out. I haven't had a chance to um, read it, and there is a possibility, late one, that Connor is going to be present when this event goes on. The NHL is in a break right now. Did you know that? They've got the world competition going on
Right.
between the four nations. So I guess Connor didn't get picked to be on Team USA.
That's kind of that doesn't seem right.
No, I
Like
know,
the
not the way he's
future,
playing.
one of the future stars of the NFL,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's playing well.
Yep. So again, yeah, this
So
Thursday.
no guarantees. Don't like show up there, and if he's not there, yell at us. But
Yes,
we've
we're
been
just reading
told
the press
he
release.
might be there.
Yes, yeah, we're just reading the press release, so don't blame us. But yeah, so if you want to get out there, who knows? You could be snowed in tomorrow, so Thursday might be a chance to get out and regain your sanity from being stuck in the house with the snow. But yeah, head over to Ultimate Cigar Lounge in Villa Park over on North Avenue, and I'm sure Teddy will be there, so you can stop in and say hello to him, and then pick up a copy of The Future and pick up some Oliva cigars.
Sounds like an interesting, fun event.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Always good to support our sponsor. And it's good to see that they're having another event there. So that's good. It's great. I know Sam's doing a lot of work on that place. It's changed ownership in the last year. So some changes are happening. So that's always good too.
And if you
Continued
need reading
success.
glasses for the book, where do you go?
Eyewear
Eyewear
Fix.
Fix.
Fix, our other sponsor. Call up Chris. Say, hey, listen, Chris, I'm reading this book. I can't see it. I need a pair of glasses. And while you're at it, can you make those glasses also sunglasses? And while you're at that, can you also make them safety glasses? He can do it. So Chris is your guy, and we appreciate all the work he does for us. He edits our podcast and helps get it out on time. So yeah, definitely. You can go online at Eyewear Fix. Oh gosh, I hate to say eyewearfix.com. It's probably not it. I'm probably gonna send you some weird website. But yeah.
I'll look it up for you.
Okay. So all right. So that takes care of paying the bills. We like to make sure our sponsors get their prime spot as we continue to
It
beg
is
and plead for money.
eyewearfix.com. One
There
word.
you go.
Eyewear Fix.
There you go. And
All
also
right.
remember if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast or any of those other platforms, head on over to YouTube, click subscribe. We need some more subscribers. We want to go live on YouTube, so we need some more subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to our page, head on over, please. We're begging you. It's not beneath us to beg. We need more subscribers so we can go live.
I got to see if we're live on X right now. I forgot. Yeah, we are live.
Hey, hi, X. Kanye's not on X anymore.
He comes
Guy.
and goes from there. I
He
think
needs to be
he's
permanently banned.
canceled
Permanently
his
banned.
account multiple times.
Yes. So, all right. So, who's your contortionist?
So we're up to. Do we skip Elephant Tamer?
I didn't have. We did. Go ahead. If you have an elephant tamer, I'll come up with one as you're
Made
talking.
that just because I needed a spot to put Sokka.
Steve, I had nothing to do with this. This is all Marty.
He's a big guy. I considered Abe for this too. Maybe we could have elephant tamers. You got to have something big enough for the elephants to listen to. They're not going to respect some little guy telling them what to do. So Steve Saka is larger than life. I think he could make elephants sit and walk and do all those things they need to do in the ring.
Go up on two legs. That's
Up on two legs. Yep.
Yeah. I would throw if I had done that one, I forgot to do that one, but I would throw Abe in there, and for the reason of that guy, he's sort of like a Jonathan Drew. He's juggling so much. So he's got his shops. He's doing the Great Smoke. He does KMA talk radio. and then he manages the socialite page, the smoking socialite page on Facebook. If you're not members, head over there, join them. And it's I saw some stuff over the weekend with Abe where somebody was complaining about a box they bought in October.
He was having to herd the elephants there, wasn't
That was that was a I'm like, holy cow, this is a cluster. And I'm thinking, yeah, there's an elephant or it's a one heck of a freaking lion, one of the two. But yeah, I could definitely see Abe as my lion and my elephant
he? Yeah. And
wrangler.
now that guy who was complaining is going on all these other websites complaining about it to everyone. I think
Yeah.
that guy is just a complainer.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So now we're on the contortionist.
Now we're on the
Yes.
contortionist.
Okay.
And I think for a contortionist, and I really don't know why, but I'm going to say Rocky Patel is my contortionist.
Okay.
He
Okay.
looks like he might do yoga. He travels,
Okay.
he's on the road for like 320 days out of the year. Even if he's flying first class, he's probably, he's got to contort he's kind of tall, right? So he's got to
He
contort
is.
his body
Yeah. Yeah.
into the seat. So that's my contortionist.
And I think did he just lose a finger? Did he just have an accident where he lost a finger?
Really, I hadn't heard this.
I thought so. I thought that's yeah. I'll have to see. I have to look that up. I thought he did. I thought I heard that on a podcast.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
how it happened.
I forget what it was. It was some weird accident. But I gave too much thought to this. You know that. So my contortionist is the person that was called in to take and reconfigure a brand. And so it was, hey, we have this brand and we want you to rebrand it. We want you to change everything. We want you to So yeah, Terrence Riley is my contortionist. He, basically come into Aganorsa, rebrand us, get us some new bands, something that's eye catching, something that people can remember, and help us to relaunch. So basically Casa Fernandez closed down. Aganorsa took over. He came up with the name. I think he came up with the name Aganorsa, which if you ever talk to him, one of these days we'll have him on the podcast. Aganorsa is an acronym for something else. I forget what he said. It's some acronym for I forget.
Agricultural something or other. Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard him explain that once.
yeah. So I look at that and go, and he's still doing it. He's still trying to figure everything out, and again, you got JFR, you got Aganorsa, you got New Cuba. So he's trying to bring all that together and rebrand it and homogenize it. So that was my pick for contortionist.
That's a good
So
pick. I like that pick.
thank you. Did you think of a human cannonball at all by
You go first on Human Cannibal. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Human cannonball, in my opinion, is somebody that's willing to take risks. Sort of like your fire eater, but fire eater, there's some tricks to that and some ways to ensure your safety. Not the best safety. I've seen fire eaters go wrong, but
Have
human
you?
cannon. Oh
You
yeah,
see,
yeah,
seen
yeah.
a fire eater
Yes,
go up in
yes,
flames?
yes. You
Wow.
yes. They've a little bit too much in the mouth, and when they spew it all out, then it starts running down their chin and onto their clothes, and you have
Ooh.
a human fire. So
Is that a
um,
professional fire eater or just someone who's trying it on YouTube for
it's
the first
it's somebody
time?
that's trying it out. It's somebody that's trying it out. Like a
Yeah,
jackass type of
don't do
yeah.
this at home. Yeah.
No. But a human cannonball, they're loading you in that rocket, and yeah, you better hope to God you hit that net. And if it's a bad load, you might not make the net. So I looked at it as somebody that's willing to take risks, somebody that is taking those risks and is paying off. And Rick Rodriguez from West Tampa is my human cannonball. Again, a guy who left the industry for a day. I'm out. I'm in. And launches West Tampa and has been successful. And we were talking about this, I think, on Saturday. Is sort of falling in line with Terrence Riley and Michael Herklotz and even Steve Saka, where you're seeing him all over social media. He had a bit on Instagram called Ask Chef Rick and was taking questions from people. So again, big risk, big reward. West Tampa, I think, is doing phenomenal. We are going to be reviewing the Circle of Life here in the coming weeks, so we'll be able to share that with you guys. But I just think Rick has done a great job. I love all their cigars, and he's my choice for Human Cannonball.
All right. I've picked a human cannonball as well while you were talking.
Okay.
I went with the aerodynamics.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
So I picked Coop as my human
Oh,
cannon.
there's not much there. Even with a bad load, Coop's probably going to make it to the net.
Yep. He's going to have the best aerodynamics in the industry.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That's a good choice. I like that. I like that a lot. We have to go back up to clown.
You can pick multiple clowns now.
You
So
can pick multiple clowns. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll throw one name out there first.
We're probably going to have the same one with it, but go ahead.
That would be funny. Eric Guttermerson.
From Cigar Dojo. Yes. That's a
Yes.
good choice. That's a good choice.
Kind
I
of
did
got the hair. It's got the hair for it.
does.
You could dye
Yes.
it orange.
Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he
That's a good
runs
choice.
the clown car that is Smoke Night Live and Flavor Odyssey.
Yeah, that's a clown car, all right. There's a lot of clowns in that car. So yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. My first clown is Matt Booth.
I totally forgot. That's a perfect one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
There's not a guy. It is probably an X-rated clown at that too.
Definitely X-rated clown.
Matt's
Yes.
a great guy, but holy cow, when he gets onto a podcast or when you meet him in person, you're like, really? I don't know if I need to go wash off and take a shower or if I need to just drink some more alcohol to kill whatever
Yeah.
it is that got into me. So, do you have another clown?
Good choice. Yeah, my second clown. I hadn't thought of this, but I think Jonathan Drew would be my other clown. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
He'd be like a New York kind of clown. I don't know, like a clown with a New York accent.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, and he's
Yes.
got the
Yeah.
big glasses,
Yes.
and he
Absolutely.
wears his hats backwards all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's a clown I respect. Good clown.
That's awesome.
We don't
That's
have any sad clowns.
no sad clowns. No
No
sad
sad
clowns
clowns.
whatsoever. Yeah, I also picked Jack Hire. Jack Hire is one of the clowns. That guy he's just wild. Anybody who gets a tramp stamp of the Camacho Scorpion,
Yeah,
yeah, you know,
he'd be willing to put all that makeup on, I think.
absolutely, absolutely. Are there any other roles that you can think of that we missed, or that you can think of that would fit somebody?
Not really. Like I think if we put these together, I think both of our circuses, if we went out and competed against each other, we'd have good lineups.
We're making some money. We're making some money on these circuses. We
We're
are making some money.
we're making some money.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. I mean, it's there's a lot of different opportunities out there. There's a lot of different things that podcasts do, and I got it. This is probably I like this one the most. We don't need a bracket challenge. I think this was good. This was
Just fun to imagine people doing different things and coming up with some crazy reasons why they might be good at it.
mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
The cigar
Absolutely.
industry is certainly full of interesting personalities. That's one of the things I enjoy about it.
You have to be. You have to. I mean, if you're getting into the cigar industry, you better have a sense of humor. You better be able to contort into other shapes and positions, because you're going to be asked to do stuff, or you're going to have to do stuff to get your brand out there. I mean, it's just the way of the industry. It's not a I mean, it's a business industry, but with the exception of Michael Herklotz and probably Michael Giannini, you're not wearing suits to work every day. You're out there, and whether it's a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt or khakis, you're sort of fitting in with the people, and
Yep.
you don't want to come across as some snooty, pretentious individual. Even Rafael Nadal is a great guy. I mean, he's probably as down to earth as you're going to get. He dresses in suits and is living the good life. But when you talk to the guy, you're like, wait a minute here, you're just like me. You like this brown stick and you light it up, and okay, that might be the life you come from or the life you're in, but you don't expect others to be at that level. But you're willing to just talk and enjoy the conversation. So yeah.
Yep. So this was fun.
Yeah. So what are you thinking of your cigar?
I always like this. Burning burning like a champ. I did a couple small touch-ups, but not bad at all. Always
Excellent.
one of my favorite Connecticut broadleafs.
Yeah. Fantastic.
How
Fantastic.
about
Yeah.
how about yours?
I don't want to burst your bubble, but I'm liking this one.
It was
It
because so I had it right after I had that Macanudo España, which I really liked and was very flavorful, and it may have like it's not as strong a taste as that, so it may not have been a good one to follow that. That's why you
it
always got to get like two.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the burn line, I don't know if you can see that burn line is phenomenal. I mean, it's a great burn line. I get the flavor notes, I get the dark chocolate, get a little bit of barnyard yard, hay and stuff like that. So I'm really enjoying it. And I think you're right. And it's just, we'll go over this as we start reviewing cigars, but Marty and I both agree you have to smoke two cigars. So, we might smoke one on the show and then we'll go back and smoke another one and then we'll review it just to make sure that it was a bad day. It was, hey, I ate something, that sort of coated my palate, or, I wasn't feeling 100%. So, but this one, yeah, I could see picking up another couple of these. Is it box worthy? Yes. I don't know if I would buy a box of them, but I can see, the benefit box of them.
Yeah, El Titan makes some good cigars. They don't
Mhm.
make many with their own name on them, so
No, but yeah, I mean, even the retro hail is nice on this. I'm enjoying. Do you retro hail or do you not?
yeah.
Okay, somebody was just talking about not retro hailing, and somebody's like, "Oh my gosh,
I think that was saying Teddy doesn't retrohale too
that's right."
much.
Yeah, in retro hailing, we'll go over that in one of these upcoming episodes. We'll talk about that a little bit. Retro hailing definitely gives you some different flavor notes and some different nuances with a cigar. I didn't for a long time, probably up until about 3 years ago. I don't think I retro hailed. And then when I started retrohaling, I'm like, oh, holy cow, this sort of changes a lot. So, and there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. So we'll discuss that in upcoming
It's
episodes.
something you
And
got to practice at a little bit. It's not a
hmm
natural. I suppose it comes natural to some people, but
yeah, yeah. So anything else? Did we miss anything? We forget anything? We talked about our sponsors. We talked about our cigars. We talked about the Bears
we're
baseball
just
stuff.
missing Teddy. Teddy didn't show
We're
up
just
today,
Teddy didn't show up. So,
but
but
hopefully we'll do another one next Sunday with Teddy. And I don't know that we've picked our topic yet, but we'll think of something.
we'll think of something. Excellent. Excellent. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time and your presence on our podcast. If you have any questions or comments, leave them for us over on X or on YouTube. I did check. I don't think we have a Facebook yet, but we're working on that. We're working on a website and we're working on an email address.
Yeah,
So
X, we're Chi-town, CHI-TOWN cigar podcast. I'm not sure what is our ad. Our ad is Chi-town_cigar, which is with no dash in between Chi and town.
excellent. 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 Well, everybody have a good night. And Marty, I will see you on Sunday
All right. Good talking with you, Mike. Have a good circus.
under the big top. Good night, Doc.